no, for real.
This looks real to me, though. Like, this looks really good. I gotta stop talking this movie up too much as you watch it, but goddamn, I just gotta compare it to the last one. Like, this looks damn good. Oh!
Damn.
I fell off.
This is brilliant because this is the first time it's not the person that's having the vision that's the last one to die.
Because she was still alive.
She was still alive.
It takes a lot to go through.
Let's go, baby!
Doesn't like to be cheated.
Does this not change the entire movie when he shows up? Don't tell me that the last two movies weren't sorely missing Tony Todd.
They were goofy without him.
I can't believe he's in the new one. I'm so fucking excited. I'm gonna weep, man.
It's giving me very Pink Power Ranger.
Because she's wearing pink.
Because she's wearing pink.
Okay. This is without a doubt one of the best scenes in the entire franchise. Because everybody knows what it feels like. This is one of the few scenes where you can really relate. There's so many scenes where it's like, I don't know what the hell's going on. Oh! She got Home Alone on a small scale. Oh! She got Home Alone on a small scale. Oh!
Can someone call 911?
It's still got the juice, baby. Tom Cruise finding out he doesn't get to make any more Mission Impossible movies. Tom Cruise finding out they won't let him blow himself up for a movie.
Hey, what's he doing here?
She looks like she was supposed to be in the previous movie.
Absolutely.
And then they forgot about her, and she's like, wait a minute, what the hell? And they were like, we'll give you something in 5.
I don't make the rules. I just clean up after the game is over.
2 things. Number 1,
Come on, tell me.
that is that absolutely delicious 90s, early 2000s cheese. Number 2, only Tony Todd can deliver it.
They weren't supposed to survive, and now it's coming after the rest of us.
See, this movie's flying by. I can't believe how fast this movie's going. Damn!
Pace feels the same to me.
Me deciding between NYU and a similar school.
So
Pace
that
feels
is
the
the
same to
only
me. That was a joke for borderline nobody.
Fucking around here, Dennis. Anyone could be next.
Oh yeah, he's like obsessed with trying to get out of this.
I mean, you want to
Fair,
live too?
fair, by the way. Yeah, very fair.
But they
You're
did
right.
introduce
Technically,
the,
he's the only
the whole
realistic
killing of
character.
Yeah, what's it with this guy's will to live?
Sorry, that's so true.
That, yeah, true.
Miro 81. Flip that around.
180, baby.
Oh shit, that was cool.
You're being cutesy about it.
You okay, man? You look a little, upset.
Yeah, it's been a weird week, man. What the fuck are you talking about?
Do you mind if I come in?
Oh,
Yeah.
fuck, he's a vampire. No, he's a vampire. He's a vampire. He's a vampire. No! Shit!
If I could actually kill some stranger and replace their life with my own.
Oh, wait. They were talking about if someone dies in your place. Did he just cheat death in the aftermath?
Did you?
No, I didn't.
And he was like, I couldn't do any of that, so I'm here to kill somebody I know.
Well, let's see.
Nice! Nice one. That was some quick thinking.
This looks great. The lighting is
Yeah.
brilliant right now, man. It really is night and day how much better this is than any of the other movies. Not
like
even
it was
3 and
destiny.
4.
Yeah.
This looks better than any of the movies.
Yeah, it was beating them all.
Daiso? Because you got the.
Oh, that wasn't a gun.
It sure was not.
Heart one?
That was love. Oh, shit. Oh. I was looking at this plane like this huge ass plane looks so familiar.
It's a prequel.
I love that.
Oh my god. Literally the perfect ending, and a little concerning that they're doing another one. Because it's like, you nailed it.
Right.
You know what I mean? You wrapped it up. Now what do you have for me? Let's go!
Oh my god. Wow. That was a great way to wrap that around.
Let's get the ranking.
I'm gonna go 2, 4, 1, 3, 5.
You're shitting me.
No.
You love 5.
I really enjoyed
Which
5.
one did
Yeah,
I
dude.
like? Oh, so out
I mean,
of
it's
the
great.
6.
It is.
Final Destination Bloodlines.
Yeah.
Do we think it can be good. That's my only concern. I don't need it to top the franchise, but can it possibly be good, or is it going to be at the bottom of our list?
If they ended off on this note, they have to know. They just have to
You
know.
can't just come back with
Because,
nothing.
okay, so 3 and 4 were honestly pretty
Just be careful now.
And that's pretty much it.
forgettable,
Right.
right? Because
Yeah.
that
I think
was...
4 is the
And
worst.
we are going to watch a series of
That's the,
films that is,
the
as of
Final
now, a
Destination.
surprise to Jake.
What is it?
We're going to find out shortly, aren't we?
You motherfucker.
As soon as you know what it is, tell me.
I've never given much thought to how I would die.
It's Twilight.
You know immediately.
Oh my god.
We're watching all of the Twilight movies.
all of it.
All of them. Are you ready?
As I
Oh
go
my
through
God.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong. You've seen some of this
I
one?
don't remember watching.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Because we started making out, and I regret making out with this woman. For 2 reasons. Number one, it wasn't a positive experience overall.
No.
Number two, I could tell out the corner of my eye that a dope scene was going down.
The baseball scene.
Yeah.
It's the best scene in any of the movies.
If you make out with me in the baseball scene, I will kill
It's
you.
just something about this movie. All right, yeah, ladies and gents, I'm excited. We're watching all the Twilight movies. This movie was made before the hype was as big as it was.
So the movie
Yeah.
helped build the hype.
Absolutely.
Interesting.
It's a much smaller scale movie. It's almost more of like an indie movie. Also, Catherine Hardwicke directed this one. And I gotta tell you, I'm not trying to be a social justice warrior, but once it was big, they gave it to a bunch of dudes, all the rest of them. I mean, like, I can't help but notice.
Wow, what are you
that.
trying to promote? Women's equality, you big fat piece of shit.
No, I'm not.
Sweetheart.
Just go straight
I'm not
to
trying
the
to
next
say
one.
that.
Yeah, this is so
you
cute.
remember Billy Clark.
Oh, it's Jacob with the wig in the parlor.
Oh my god, wait.
Did you
Yes.
ever watch
Says
Twilight?
hair.
Who? Which
Yeah.
one?
Jacob.
I think I
Wait,
saw the
River or
first
Jacob? Oh,
two.
Oh
that's
my
is that
god.
real hair.
Oh my god.
My girlfriend at the time.
Shit. Nothing more dangerous than a man in a wheelchair.
Don't. Oh my god, the way he's.
I eventually saw
He
the
falls-
others.
you see in the
shit.
background, he falls out of the
What the
wheelchair.
fuck is going on back there?
Oh, I gotta tell you, I'll never
I never
forget
saw
seeing
them
this
in
movie in
theaters. My
theaters.
sister really
Like,
liked them.
right, like for these
Oh, really?
scenes, everyone was
Yeah,
like,
it was like one of my sister's things.
yeah.
But
Everyone
I
was
like
so
it
excited.
now.
I love it.
Because I
Yeah,
watch videos
the seats,
like
they
this
actually,
that
there was
talk
a
a
thing where
lot
they had to
about
like
it, the lore.
mop up the seats because they were moist after the movies. Mostly from me. Uh-oh.
I'm open to loving.
Who's that? Oh, who's he?
Yeah. Come on in, baby.
Okay, I don't give a shit. This is iconic. This was a huge
I
thing.
like never know what
Like,
he's
fuck
doing.
it. I don't
It's
care.
always
It's fucking
making so
iconic.
much
Tell me more about your school. Now, what are the kids like? Are there any cute guys?
There's one hot ass fucking
There's one, but mom, he can't get hard. He doesn't have any blood, mom. I assume that if he knows he's going to become aroused, he has to stick a bike pump in his urethra and then pump it slowly.
There's a whole chapter of the second book. No, I'm kidding. Would you believe me?
Was there a franchise that you like, a movie franchise that you
Hell yeah.
Not anymore.
not
This,
anymore?
I fucking
not
love this,
anymore.
dude.
I don't really like
That's
have,
her,
like,
her first inkling that he's
a
fucking
diehard
bizarre,
fandom that I
obviously,
like
right?
obsess
Could they
over,
smash
Yeah.
right
What
now?
is your
How did you know him
last
so fast?
one?
I did like Supernatural.
Oh, he's
in high
gaslighting
school,
her?
but then I like
Don't
kind
tell
of
me he's
lost
fucking
it around,
gaslighting her.
like, the 10th
Across the
season.
lot.
That's like when I gave
Oh, you
up.
piece of
Yeah.
shit. This is how domestic
then-
abuse begins.
You stopped the van.
I
You
like
crushed
gave
that
up on
vehicle.
TV
You
series
pushed it
in
away with your
college. I
hand.
like
Okay.
stopped watching things.
Yeah.
Oh, nobody's
So
gonna
then
do
I
it.
like,
Oh,
that's why I'm like super
shit.
behind. Is because I like
Yo,
haven't watched
squad,
anything
don't pull
in,
up
like,
at your
years.
house,
Yeah.
break your knees if you
So,
speak a
like,
word about this
I
bitch.
never-
She's like, I wasn't gonna tell
well,
you.
Yo,
was
I'll
I?
get
I
all
watched
my
Avatar:
pale
The
ass
Last
brothers to
Airbender
run up on
during
you,
the
Dad.
pandemic.
What's the problem?
Oh, don't worry. Edward's gonna run up on a few rapists.
Well, like,
Oh my god, here we fucking go. Here we go. Retribution, motherfucker. Yeah, baby.
We never,
Kick their
like,
ass.
That was very
like
dangerous.
that. We went for funsies. Like, me and my friends watched that one, like, Matt Damon one where he, like,
Wait.
shrunk into a
No,
tiny
no,
person.
oh yeah.
I'm
Right,
not
that's that
fighting.
one.
He's too cool.
Down.
That's the whole
Yeah,
Damn it.
downsizing.
Yeah.
Did you know where I was?
We
didn't.
watched that one.
I was doing donuts.
and then,
Alright,
like,
I was
we
already
watched-
doing donuts.
You just happened to be where I was
What else
doing
did we
sweet
watch?
fucking donuts in the
Theaters.
hospital parking lot.
We
Because, girl, I got a
watched
sick
The
whip.
Room
I like
in
that.
theaters,
Good,
or,
Emily.
like, when that one came out.
I'm gonna
Not
eat
The
you.
Room, but, like, the disaster artist.
Yeah.
Out of the cloud bank. You need to see what I look like in the sunlight.
It was like out of our
Oh,
cinema was like really
shit.
small.
Yeah, that's
Not,
goofy
like,
as
too
fuck.
many
Oh my
movies that
God.
you could watch
Yeah.
in there anyway.
God bless him.
God bless him.
Actually, the
So it
best
was
shots
never,
are when it's like
something
really
that,
quick and you can't see them.
we were looking
Like that
forward
shot was
to,
cool
right?
because it was quick. But every time they like hangs on them,
We like
it looks
musicals.
insane.
It's a
We're so
lot.
into musicals.
Yeah, it looks
Yeah.
insane. They really should have done that. They could have done that differently.
This is why we don't show ourselves in sunlight.
What's your favorite
People
music?
would know we're different.
You know what happens in the sunlight, right?
He gets all glittery.
Yeah.
All of them?
I don't think they did it enough. You tell me what you think. I think they could have gone a little
Like
more overboard
good
with it,
top
personally.
3. Phantom of the Opera is definitely up there.
Okay, yeah.
This is where I am.
Like, I
I
almost
like
don't even know that I would
Fairly
notice it.
Water
It doesn't
Nelly.
look, you know what I mean?
I've never heard of that.
And
Oh,
it's like in the
damn.
1920s.
So they're having sex.
No,
right
no,
now,
no,
right?
no, no.
And
But the
then
camera
They
went up
cannot.
toward the sky.
one more.
That's what that
They
means.
cannot.
Yo, if the camera's
Oh.
on 2 people,
This fucking field.
I've been vibing with Hades Town.
yeah, they just had sex in his feet.
Nope.
Dude. They
You know
just,
that one?
I know,
I'm
I'm
telling you,
familiar
no.
they
with
just
it.
made
Yeah,
oh
it's
my
like-
god. Dude.
The Greek mythology, but like mixed with like steampunk.
They are about to have sex? I can't
Well, they're
think
always
of the time.
about to have sex, pretty much. They earn a constant state of about to fuck.
So this will be like a good big focus one.
I better.
Because these will just be like
See
the first
them
couple
smash.
weeks.
Or at least
right?
know that it happened.
You gotta wait a few books.
For real?
Wait, I can
Dog.
Because I actually want it to be blue.
So how long have you been like
The
this?
one for these ones.
Since 1918.
For this one.
That's when Carlisle found me.
His name is Carlisle.
That's that.
That's a dope name.
Carlisle Cullen.
Fuck, that's on him.
Dog.
Wait, why couldn't he just keep his last name from his last life? Like, Edward
Gibraltar.
Smith. Yeah, or whatever.
Edward Johnson. Snowden. His last name was Snowden, so
And he was like, I gotta change
I gotta
it.
change this. This is ridiculous. Impressive. Vampire jump.
Wow.
Just
That
like a
was
regular jump.
It was like a parkour video.
Yeah.
Seems like a lot of
For what it's
weeks,
worth,
like
this is a
lot
pretty
more
good.
weeks than-
This is a pretty good, like. I mean, I feel like Twilight fans were pretty pleased with this scene. They had to be, right? Like, this is pretty good.
I feel like this is probably the sexual awakening of
Of
thousands
every
of
kid.
girls. Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, I think they nailed this scene. The tension's pretty good.
It just takes the majority of July, I guess.
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah.
That was so, like.
You way too thirsty, dog. Be wildin'.
I fucking love this scene. I'm not apologizing to anyone.
I'm gonna apologize to a
Where is
couple.
it
No,
going?
no. When the song starts,
Calm as a scene, Bella.
it's so fucking cool.
Alright, this
It
is where
was
I
so
start
cool. I
switching.
love this scene so much. I watched it with my sister.
I love that.
We also watched like Pretty Little Liars
Yeah.
together.
Yeah, I watched
Fuck yeah. No, this is awesome.
I see why you need the thunder.
So they have to play during thunder. They can only play whenever it's gonna thunder. They can play
Yeah.
baseball
Like,
because they cracked
me
with a
and
bat.
my friends
Such
were
a
all
great
watching,
idea.
Like 13
Yeah, it's
Reasons
awesome.
Why
I don't care, it's a
There's
great
Oh,
something.
yeah.
And like my friend Jessie got the haircut
Haircut?
that looked just like Hannah Baker when she got her
Oh,
haircut.
James goes
Because
snack
Jessie also
today.
had like that long curly hair, right?
Yeah.
So we were like, oh my gosh, she looks just like Hannah
Wouldn't
Baker.
you not eat the
And then,
person just like out of respect?
We all saw the scene.
Right? Like,
right?
are they that horny?
Wait, yeah, like
James.
Yo, this is the worst James since Corden.
Look, Bella, I know I'm not that much fun to be around, but I can
That
change
was a
that.
wild
We can,
time
Oh.
in high school.
we can do more stuff together.
oh, I love him.
Yeah,
Like what?
well, I have.
Like
I don't
watch
think I'll
baseball
have
on the
school
flat
the
screen?
4th of July.
Oh,
I
she
think I'll
has to
have
be an
that day
asshole to
off.
get out of there.
Aw.
Dad, that's you. That's not me.
Aw.
Oh.
Bella, come on,
Wait out somewhere.
I just got you back.
Oh, God.
Yeah, and you know, if I don't get out now, then I'm just gonna be stuck here like Mom.
Oh, shit.
I'm a big fan of scenes like that. It reminds me of something from Cirque du Freak, which I know I've mentioned before. We need to start a book club, right?
Yeah,
I'm down for that. We need to start a fucking book club, man.
let's do it.
Did you ever read
For
books?
just for Cirque du Freak, though.
I started reading
stop.
more
Yeah,
books
Cirque du
recently.
That's it. I literally want to like lay you down in bed and I will read them
Sweet.
to
Friends
you.
of
Huh?
Finch.
I can't bring myself to regret the decisions that
Hey, you should pay me.
Late
All right, never
itself.
mind.
That, I've never seen a taxi driver get paid in a movie.
And then
No.
I'm reading right now,
It's
or
real
I started
unfortunate.
reading
It's real
Dracula,
Sad industry.
but I
Especially if
didn't
it's just
finish
fucking
it.
pepper spray.
Uh,
Wait, oh no, garlic.
and I
I was gonna say
started
pepper is a thing, but no, it's garlic is the vampire
this
thing.
book called Meddling
like
Kids.
Do they sell garlic spray? They
Which is
like
like
it.
a-
Vampires
basically Scooby-Doo.
love pepper.
But they're like older.
Oh yeah.
Try to suck the venom out.
And
No.
Daphne
Ah.
is like
You won't be
a
able to stop
really
it
smart
sucking your blood.
person.
Classic. Suck that fucking venom out.
But she ends up being like a
His face is fucking awesome.
Yeah, uh-huh.
and
agree.
then
He's acting the hell out of this.
Oh, the out of focus, I love
is-
that.
So she's gonna die, get
like a
her
butch,
blood sucked by a vampire, and not even turn into a vampire.
Bum fucking
girl.
deal.
and
Yo,
then
mom, I gotta come clean. I
Shaggy
got sucked off by
is
2
in
dudes
a
today.
asylum.
I got sucked off by one dude while the other held me down.
Yeah.
And 2
And
others
then
lit it
Freddy
up on
became
fire.
Yeah.
Moon.
And then
Oh,
instead of
Moon.
it being actually Scooby,
Moon.
Is it gonna be
because
Moon?
Scooby
Oh,
passed
Moon,
away.
okay.
Moon.
What else? What
it's
else
like
we got?
Scooby's nephew.
W Moon.
Moon.
Oh,
Yeah.
interesting.
I-
Oh, ew,
Like-
Moon.
Ew,
Oh, yeah,
Moon.
Moon.
Oh, it's
Or
like
the
George
way
New
that-
Moon. Oh no, New Moon.
Your birth is definitely something to celebrate.
Okay, you made it weird.
Chill out, mom.
Immediately you made it super weird.
You're a freak. You're a
I
creep.
read Harry Potter, I think the first and second book.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, I think it's a little young too.
Now that you bring that up, Edward.
I read a
You
lot
80-year-old
of
fuck. I guess if you say it quick, we're the
this
same
book
age.
called Time
18.
Warp Trio when I was
Hey,
18.
hey, how old are you?
If I pull the mic away, how old are you? 8.
It's these like 3 kids who time travel and do history and stuff. I like
Is
time travel.
he
as a kid.
actually Native American?
You know, he's a shark.
Concept, yeah.
Have you ever heard of Wishbone?
Oh yeah, the dog.
Yeah.
Oh my
I
god, that
love
was
that
a
one.
rat.
That was my favorite.
It's a dead rat.
I watched.
I don't think he goes to this school, by the way.
Penguin.
I'm almost positive he just rolls up and says hello and then
All
leaves.
those
We've
shows
never
was
seen
fun.
him in an interior shot.
I
What was
don't.
that channel?
He's
That
the
was
opposite of
same
Edward. He can't go
channel as,
indoors.
Carla, you couldn't be
Bob the
damned.
Builder.
We're getting biblical up
Is that
in
Nick?
You couldn't.
No,
It's
it was
impossible.
like WTV or something.
But the Lord our God is spoken.
Thank
Yeah,
you,
I don't
Bella.
know.
You
However,
Where
fucking
all the
gave me
spaces,
about
because
it.
this
However,
is how you
Jesus
see
Christ
all of-
does dictate.
of what's taking over my
Vampires go
computer. It's
straight to
mostly
hell.
movie files, right?
Uh-huh.
That's actually
And
one of the
then followed by
beatitudes.
other MP4 files, which is just more
She's got a
movies.
fucking Polaroid printer that she's folding it. Just you could have cropped that.
I have
Yeah, you
Pre-
could've
prior.
done it digitally.
It's awful.
Of just
This is all happening manually.
This is like the reverse of a twist in a ghost in like a haunted house movie where like they uncurl the photo and it's like uh-oh.
This is
But instead it was the opposite.
the first part when they
Right. This is the prequel.
Oh,
Wait a minute.
God.
She was behind the photo the whole time.
wait, so that was her? I thought it was a different one.
Holy
I
shit,
thought that
dude.
was just like his old.
Whoa.
His accent just bled through majorly.
You're welcome.
Come and take a walk with me.
Come and take a walk with me.
One line. She's like,
And she's like,
Edward.
huh?
He's like, Bella. She's like, kiss me. He's like,
Oh,
I watch
oi,
Stranger
oi,
Things. I
Bella.
don't
I'm
think
a
I'm like
fucking vampire,
I'm a
bro.
fucking
into the
vampire.
fandom, yeah, like
Yeah.
that.
Come and take a walk with me,
He
eh?
says British slang. Yeah. I cut it, bro.
Oh, it's getting dark.
Not
And I
only
mean the film,
visually,
yeah.
totally.
Uh-oh, spooky, scary skeletons.
The least he could have done is show her the way back to the
Yeah, right.
road.
You just brought me to the main road. I think it was her backyard. So, what, did you need to bring me to the middle of the woods for this? Could you fucking get me home? Didn't he just say, like, be careful?
Yeah, he was
Your
like,
first mission is to escape the forest.
he was like, be good, stay cool, we out.
Be good, stay cool. Don't ever change. Have a great summer.
Oh
And I
wait,
thought
I was
that
gonna show you
if I
this
had a
one.
mechanic
Oh yeah.
Show your stuff. Yeah.
Oh, this is like very recent.
Well, it's because this page hadn't been reloaded.
Oh.
So it did not come out 9 minutes ago, is that what it said?
It said 7 hours.
No, I got a photo camera and all of these. Yeah, Diego's birthday's coming up soon too. Everyone has summer birthdays. My half birthday's coming up.
Hey John,
Oh,
check out this
yeah,
tree.
it's gonna be on a
See if you can spot
weekend.
something I didn't before I bought
Your
this
half
place.
birthday?
Yeah.
Oh.
It's burnt.
What do you usually do for your
Every
half birthday?
single tree here is burnt.
Oh.
And that's real bad. Some idiot made all of them out of wood. You know what's also made out of wood? My new house. So what am I going to do if a bushfire does rip through the property? Or even worse, what if there are marauders? Could I survive by hiding in your normal household objects like your bathtub? Or am I just cooked? Right, now I'm picking 3 things to attempt to survive in. And the first is the bathtub. And it makes sense if you don't think about it very hard. It's made out of steel, it's wet, and it's a contained space. And there was a really interesting article published by a fire coroner that showed that around 50% of people that die in their house are located in their bathroom and even the bathtub. And I don't think that's because they were dropping their kids off at the pool when the fire came through. It's probably because it feels like the safer room filled with less flammable objects than my garage. So I'm going to do the best case scenario and get a cast iron bathtub filled with water and then put a wet
the
towel.
one I'm probably
My flawed logic
most
here is
associated
if
with
water
or known
filled
for
with
is
smoke in a
Breaking Bad.
bomb, surely it will work with a wet towel and bath.
You've
Next
never
we
seen
got your
it?
fridge. Well, not your fridge. I couldn't work out where you live. I'm getting the exact fridge from the
need to
Indiana
watch
Jones
it
movie where
vicariously.
Harrison Ford hid in it and survived a nuclear blast and then got shingles.
Breaking
And fridges
Bad.
are a pretty common movie escape trope. We're not sure there is anything
Lost.
safe about them, as they are covered in toxic plastic, have a compressor, and are usually filled with stinky
I've
fish.
been watching it.
Oh yeah, you told me about that.
Then for all you Americans, we have a fireproof
Yeah,
gun,
I love
and it's got walls made out of steel and gibber, which is meant to
Friends.
insulate it
Me and
and
my
keep the
sister were always
temperature
watching
under
Friends.
150 degrees. And this sounds a lot better than a fridge, but I don't know, because even if you don't die from the heat, unlike the guns in the safe, you need oxygen to survive. And to make this test slightly scientific, I'm going to put a thermometer in each with
feel
an
like you have
oxygen
to.
and a CO2
Yeah, we were in
so we will know
Wisconsin.
exactly how effective they
Yeah,
are.
what's
But first, I'm going to do a small
Pacific show
scale
is fun.
test.
That's totally what Wisconsin was like.
Exactly.
And this ain't
Yeah.
looking good for the meat
Oh.
bar, as after only a minute of this
what
tiny
else?
house being on fire, the water was already boiling. But maybe it'll be different with a bigger bath. For the
I'm, like,
fireproof
super
safe, I made
obsessed
this
with
book,
any
which
other
is
shows.
gibrock, mined straight from the source, some felt, and then sheet metal. And this is pretty promising. I kept
I
this
love
flame against it
Taskmaster.
for like 10 minutes, and the heat inside didn't
It's
go
a
up.
British game show about these comedians.
But I don't think we
creating
learned
actors.
anything from this small test, except not to give a 3-year-old a powerful laser. Which means I need a real house to
Going through
burn.
an era
Heads, I burned
watching,
down
like,
this
the Great
house.
British
Tails,
Bake Off
Oh,
and,
yeah.
like, all of those cooking shows.
My biggest
the
watch
first step in
lately
building a house
has
is
been
getting two
like,
mates to do all the work. Dan and Leo.
like
Dan
Korean
builds houses for
reality
hippies in the
shows.
mountains, and Leo
Oh, yeah,
is
you've
a
been watching
professional architect with a
K-dramas?
YouTube channel.
Not
Mates
K-dramas,
that have
but,
different
like-
names will
like
also
the
work for
dating
building
shows.
a house.
Oh, yeah?
So if anything
Yeah.
goes wrong, we all know who
Like I
it is.
recently watched. Well, this one's
And at first, I
Japanese,
thought
but
I'd
it's
spend
called
$1,000
Offline Love.
on wood, but why would I do that
So
when I
good.
can buy a $2,500
The
chainsaw
concept
and then
is
spend
they're
an
dropped
hour
in
ruining
Nice,
the bath
France.
to make an Alaskan
Oh.
meal, which
And
allows you to
they have
turn
to meet
anything
each
wood
other
into
without
animal
phones.
foods.
Oh.
So
You know what they
just
say?
8
Give
people
a man a
on the
stinky
show,
fish
8 or
and
10.
he'll eat it. But give a man a
And then
chainsaw and he'll be
they
eating
just
stinky
are
fish
given a
for life.
guidebook or a tour book, and then they need to find each other.
But I did forget the wood of this tree is still very wet, and the same with the giant
It's
gum
very,
tree that fell
very
down on the
cute.
property. So this ain't gonna make good building
I've
material
watched
or burn very well.
too
So
many
instead we stole the neighbor's
dating
trailer
shows.
and headed down to the local tip.
I got into it
Oh,
because I got
yeah.
kind of hooked on Bachelor.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I like
and
that.
then I found out my sister watches it.
When you can't really hide in
So
it.
then I
either.
started watching it
Maybe you could hide a baby.
more thoroughly to
And after
have
almost getting into a
conversations
fight
my
with the
sister.
man about
Oh.
home,
just to like
You got the
relate
hoe.
to stuff.
Yeah.
That's fine.
And then there would be times where we would watch it together.
Enjoy your
we somehow got everything we needed to burn, including a Chubb fireproof safe, a fridge, and
Me
a
and my
cast
sister
iron bath, all from one tip.
Watched the first
Unfortunately, the
episode,
tip
or
didn't
like the
have
first
much
episode
good
of
wood
the
though,
live
but
action
we
of
met some
Avatar: The Last
tradies who gave
Airbender,
us some free
and we hated
concrete
it, so
formwork.
then we just
So
decided
then we
to watch
pointed
the
at the
cartoon
plan
version
and worked
instead
out
to
that the
like
tradies'
cleanse our
wood was
faces.
not going to be enough. So we also had to buy some pine
I
for
feel
the
like that's
walls
what
and
you gotta
frame.
do.
I was so hyped for that one though. I went to the
We
premiere.
tried to get the untreated
Oh, yeah.
stuff,
Yeah.
but there is still some pretty nasty chemicals in plywood, similar to cigarettes. And I mean exactly the same as cigarettes. And we're kind of just
I really
making
like
our own
Avatar, it's
version of
such
an
a good
IKEA
series.
burnable
It really
house,
is.
where we pre-make all the walls in the neighbour's garage, and then hopefully can just walk them over and nail them in place. And the first wall looks like a floor,
Oh, the guy's
but that's
just
because it's on the
barefoot.
floor
Yeah,
and not on the
that's
wall.
his thing.
Then the other walls came together perfectly.
So scary.
So once we had a big stack of walls, we moved on to the floor, which we were going to make in one giant piece. And I can't tell you how long I've wanted to use one of these. Like, legally, I signed an NDA and I can't. But it's my new favourite tool. And it's crazy to think that a tool company watched my hammer gun video and made a more functional version of it. And we did forget about the weight of the floor and almost made it too heavy to move. And after an hour of moving panels to the top of the hill, we realised we could have just made everything up there. And you would think that with the combined brain power of a YouTuber, architect, and builder, that this whole build would come together smoothly, and we would be able to get the basics like wall dimensions right. But somehow we either stuffed up the floor or the wall. So we took it back down and weren't pissed off at all.
If I were in a wilderness, I feel like I've watched enough wilderness videos to figure something out. Yeah, I don't think I'd die out there. I think I could last maybe a week.
A lot of people have told me to watch Alone.
Yeah.
Ever heard of that show?
No, what is it?
It's a show where they basically get dropped in the woods alone by themselves, and they just have to survive for as long as they can. But it's like they survive in the wild. But like a lot of people have to just
struggle with finding
this whole
food.
building process,
yeah, because they have to like hunt or fish or either
like usually the things that make it useless, but I've never put this much effort into something whose only purpose is to be destroyed, which resulted in Dan, Liam, and I constantly arguing about what to do.
I don't know what I would try and hunt. Maybe
I wanted zero.
rabbits are fast.
Liam wanted to just stand upright, and Dan thought we were actually building a real house. And we didn't want to break the illusion in and tell him we were burning it all down, so we let him do a fancy thing called bird mouths.
Raccoons don't sound
Look,
tasty.
I'll tell you a secret. Some of my other subscribers saying some pretty nasty stuff about you. They said, Paul, you're a nice guy, but you're real stupid. And you don't know what a bird's mouth is. They also said some stuff about your sister, but we all know that's true. So Paul, a bird's mouth is this joint right here. And it's for the rafters, so they sit nicely on the walls. And it makes no difference at all. But remember, Dan thinks this is actually his house.
Not correct. Incorrect. Incorrect. What's happened? Doesn't reach?
There's like a whole skill to it.
I'm sure.
So we tried for an hour or two to make it, but couldn't even get one of them right. So we just called it a day and went fishing.
Let's go.
You can do it out here, you know.
What?
Archery.
Out here, like
in Beverly Hills.
Like there's an archery range.
Look at that. It's the sponsor of today's video, Udo. Udo is an all-in-one business management software that provides entrepreneurs like me with a range of applications to simplify the day-to-day management of their business, including invoicing, accounting, project management, website creation, and more. Today I'm focusing on the Udo Inventory application, which is essential for any business looking to manage its stocks effectively and adaptively with advanced features like barcode management, smart storage rules, and complete traceability. It offers a comprehensive solution to maximize productivity and minimize errors. It allows you to efficiently manage inventory, effortlessly organize your shelves and aisles, and automate product routing from your warehouse and other retail points. Also, if you are doing the picking and packing, you can optimize your processes with smart strategies such as wave, BlahSrah, and batch picking, as well as first in, first out, last in, first out, and average costs. I love that. What about you want to do some real-time tracking? Well, Udo has that as well. You can stay updated on stock levels, expiration dates, and product movements. With the integrated barcode scanner, you can easily register incoming stock to the warehouse in seconds, saving you from redundant manual work. So start saving time in your warehouse and streamline the flow of Udo Inventory. Click my link in the description to get started with Udo. The first app is free for life and easy posting and support. Okay, day 2, and we're back to doing bird mouths.
General idea before you like do it without knowing.
Yeah, that's fair.
Right?
Yeah.
It's like better than at a run fair because the winner actually works.
Yeah.
And it's like more like the coaches will like tell you what you're doing wrong.
Right.
And there's like no safety. And then when you get really good, you can like go to longer range.
There's only one more thing to make.
Have you ever shot a gun?
I have.
I've never shot a gun.
And now the cabin is done. But I forgot something pretty
It was
major.
out in
There
Wisconsin.
might, maybe, possibly, definitely
Of course.
be a
Yeah,
total
I
fire
figured.
ban. So we can't legally light it on
I'm
fire.
like-
And usually I would do it anyway, but people
just
aren't
me
going to be happy
and
if I
my
set the whole
friends.
area on fire
And
while
like,
making a video about fire
just
safety,
keeps it in
which
his
means we're going to
trunk.
have to wait a month for the fire ban to end and also get permission
It's
from the
so
fire ban.
Midwestern.
And that's also the end of Liam and Dan. So go check out Liam's YouTube channel where he makes things slightly better than I do on his channel Morosi Makes.
Really?
Okay, 1 month later.
Yeah, it's way back
It's
here.
mouldy
Here we go.
and wet. We're gonna have to dry it out somehow. The cabin is fairly dry now, so we waited for a non-windy night when my mates were feeling pretty hungry.
There's a chicken in there. Oh.
Would you like to write anything nice on the walls?
No, I'd like to put that over here.
Tell me where you want to put it, please.
Right here.
That
Step ladder into the...
ruins the shot.
No, it doesn't.
Also, who has a bathtub in their living room with their safe? All of this is wrong already.
Not everyone's a rich YouTuber. Some people have to live like this.
And this is my big
So inside the
friend. He
fridge,
also gets the
safe,
same
and
recoil
bowl,
safe.
we put some
Yeah.
chickens, a thermometer, and an oxygen reader. And the sensors aren't fireproof, but they don't need to be, because if they melt, we'll know it was hot. And here are my
was the summer
predictions.
of
The
sword.
fridge chicken is going to be completely gone. Bath chicken is going to boil, and I reckon the chicken in the
And then-
safe might survive, but will suffocate.
And we also
Smells
did
good.
gun
Is it going all over your
before I
face?
left Colorado.
Is that enough?
Scissors, paper, rock. Scissors, paper, rock. Julie, you got it. You got limited time.
Oh!
He has like a full beard.
And I'm not sure why we had so much trouble lighting this cabin full of petrol, so I tried again with my favourite cocktail.
Shenanigans though. This is just the big
Whoa,
driving that I took.
whoa.
And then
Holy.
And place your bets now on what's going to happen to me when I run into the cabin to get the intro shot.
this is all the cars that were in my driveway. This is how many people were at my house.
I found glass on the ground and covered in my foot.
Chris Quillen. What?
Oh, we were playing hide and seek.
Oh.
Justin was jumping around like a bunny.
Oh.
Reading books.
Oh yeah, you guys are, yeah, I remember you showed me that.
Okay.
So after patching up my foot and putting on shoes, we refilled the cabin with petrol and tried again.
And then I was hiding in the trash can.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I showed you this one, right?
Yeah.
I have the video of me in the trash can. Behind me. We got it.
Whoa.
This is just a fun song. I was for a little bit.
You don't need me to explain what just went wrong there, but I'm lucky, stupidly lucky.
I went home a lot during college.
Oh, like, he's probably got light in my head.
It's because Wisconsin's so far away. You kind of have to go back.
Oh, yeah, I don't be too close to this.
We did so many photo shoots with the cars. It's my favorite part. And all the parties.
Holy! Dude, it's over 600 degrees in there. You can feel the heat from here.
Yeah, it's just hot.
Colorado parties.
Don't watch out for everything around you. I mean,
I
it's hot.
really love watching so much Colorado parties. This now we're in the pandemics because the mask.
I don't know what's going to do anything.
This is how big the club was. Remember I was telling you about it? You can see all those people back there. More pictures on the Finsta
Dude, this is not good.
of the parties.
Oh.
Alright, the cabin is going up quickly. and
'Cause
it's
it
already
was
over 700
ridiculous. I
degrees
was like,
Celsius.
how
And
did
it's
I
so
know all
hot
these
that we
people?
had absolutely no chance of putting this out, even if we wanted to. We
I
couldn't
was.
get within 10 meters of it.
You're doing a good
So
job.
many cats.
And you know, previously, when I saw the houses of celebrities and influencers burn down, I didn't care. But knowing it could happen to me and seeing how hard it was to control this small burn has definitely encouraged me to get some firefighting equipment of my own.
Big cat boy.
Which is really good that we picked a wet day with no wind, as the fire still seems contained. But if the wind
There's me
picks
as a
up and these
baby.
embers change direction, we could be in a lot of trouble. So the first thing to go was the roof, which knocks the bathtub through the floor.
Sometimes not really.
And I sound like an idiot
I don't
saying
remember
this,
too much
but
of
I
it,
just
yeah.
couldn't believe how hot the fire was. So I'm changing my prediction. No chicken is
They
surviving.
had buffet. This was like when
So after we let it
Mine
burn
was,
for
like,
an
mainly
hour,
a-
which is a
like,
much shorter
so
time than
much
a real
food.
house will be on fire, we started putting it out. And it wasn't looking good for the bath
I don't know
chickens
why
or the
this is,
fridge
like,
chickens.
panorama.
What is boiling in the left side? You just get
Oil alive.
So much mango. I don't know why I didn't post,
Okay,
like,
well, that's,
more
I
good
mean, I feel like we
pictures.
don't need to check on the chickens.
But it was cloudy like this the whole time.
Yeah. So a lot of
pretty
pollution.
certain
Yeah, and a
thing
lot of
here.
pollution.
I'm feeling a little bit dumb forever thinking.
This was a cold
Yeah,
room.
might
We
be
went
that's
into
awesome.
a cave.
Let me get the plate in there as well.
Yeah.
Oh. Well cooked. That looks cool.
Those are cool pictures.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's just
And then more cave pictures. We walked
tastes like
into a
lobster.
cave.
it's so moist.
And
And
they,
somehow
like,
the
lit it up
chickens
with, like,
tasted amazing,
rainbow
even
lights.
with
We
the
met a really
aftertaste
old
of
lady
burnt towel.
who was
But
111
before we open up
at
the
the
fridge
time.
and safe, we're going to wait till
And
it
we're,
cools
like,
down in the morning.
longevity
The most
and
impressive
oldness.
thing about
We
this
meet
is
this
not
old
the
lady
fire,
and
but the fact that the bathtub fell
so
through the
happy.
floor and
She
still
is so
stayed
happy, but
upright.
like,
How did
I wonder if that's what I'm gonna look like when I'm 111. That's wild.
Looney Tunes.
We got some time.
I have so much time.
The fridge
And then I.
Oh, you can see it.
English.
Look how good that
Oh.
looks. Wait, pick it up.
That's a
Oh! Okay, so don't hide in the fridge. Don't hide in the
I don't know why it was always the
Oh, that
elevator,
actually
but
looks
I love that.
Yeah.
almost a little bit good.
When I have this shirt, I want it.
You don't know the combination to the safe?
That's a good word.
Yeah,
The
funny
dog-
squid.
That was a medal, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Funny statues.
Nice.
My mom took these.
This looks delicious.
This
Where
is
did the
at a
thermometer
party.
go?
Oh.
You can't negotiate with a fire.
The era of selfies.
Mm-hmm.
Can't argue with it. You
I don't
just
take nearly
have
as
to
many
get as far
selfies
away from it as
anymore.
possible.
Yeah.
You know, if there is
Yeah.
actually a bushfire, the only thing to
I don't
do
have a
is
reason
get
to
out
take
there,
pictures of
because
my
that's the
face
only
like
way to
that.
actually stay safe. But definitely chuck some chickens in the bath, because you'll have the most
Oh
delicious
yeah, here,
chicken dinner
when I
to come
found my
back to.
RA at the party. This is my RA.
That's funny.
And this is like the group. This is one of the parties.
How you going? So, I've got a dirty little secret.
Jenga. Classic.
I've got a second
Oh, that's a
YouTube
good
channel
party
with
game.
this guy. And 4 years ago, we travelled to
I have
North
Jenga
Korea to
here
get a
somewhere.
haircut.
We made it like
And made a
drunk
whole
Jenga.
YouTube channel
Oh,
about
really?
it called Boy
Yeah.
Boy. And the videos have just been
is
sitting there,
good.
marinating. But my mate and I are posting it there. So I need you to go over there right now and subscribe. The channel has something for everyone.
Yeah, that's why I'm so high up. Yeah, this random guy.
North Korea for him.
While we were in North Korea, my mate and I stole something from the souvenir store.
And it was before.
So today, we're going to follow this
So I was like, I just have the
and find
time, I
out
guess,
why
sure.
those North Koreans are always so happy.
Alright, recipes of Pyongyang. Just the cover looks fucked.
That doesn't have no
That I did not get into. But it's fun to film them from a distance.
Yeah.
I'm like too small, right? I can
I'm not really good at the monster.
No?
No.
This is awesome.
It's
Not
not
really.
getting like. It's
It's
like
fun
a
like
ping
jumping
pong.
around,
Yeah.
but like
No lies.
So it looks shit from the beginning. You're like, I don't want to eat anything.
Spread communism.
That's why they're all
Okay.
People refuse to eat
The day of.
It's like an egg sausage.
Nothing? Well, I'll have one of those. The specialty foods of Pyongyang, where the immemorial history and brilliant culture are prouting themselves, show the advantage of the Korean dishes for their taste,
This is a fun one. This is
nutrients,
based off of a
and
book.
pharmaceutical value.
Pharmaceutical value.
Like a bunch of, like,
You will fully
quotes.
feel the nostalgia whenever you enjoy the Pyongyang dishes, not only on the
And
festival,
it's like two people
but
like
usually with your
and they
family
like bond
relatives
over
and
like their
Like
music.
today. We get to
They,
eat
like,
food
read the
and
Watchmen
pharmaceuticals. It's amazing.
And then, oh my gosh, this one is the legendary one. This is the school talent show.
Bring
I mean, that just looks normal and nice.
This looks.
It's
not
Tangogi.
It's said that even a drop of Tangogi soup on Easter can be kept on it.
This is the really favourite made of paper pie. This tasty dish reminds me of your mother serving breakfast in your home garden. I want to eat a good setting Chinese Korean memories.
So now he's in his own band. These three are not in a band. Well,
Ooh, that's the curry of avocado. You love that stuff.
So he's Ben Paul. So Ben Paul and the guitarist
Weird, unhealthy
are still in a band. Ishmael, the drummer, is not in the band anymore. Akshay moved to like Washington DC or something. He's into politics, and then Gavin, he's in his own band. I was in a band for a little
nutritive
bit.
value, good taste, and various medical properties.
Oh, you can fix all your fucking health problems with one dish. It's great.
I think it's really funny how much they push the medicinal properties of every single food.
Exactly, broken leg.
Oh, this is what Jesse
Stick
looked
jelly
like.
roll.
Hannah Baker.
I see it.
Yeah, yeah, right.
Looks kind of. Is that its intestine? No.
Raw carb
Wait,
slices.
this is like at Culver's.
Oh, it's so weird.
It's still accurate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, not here.
Very
It's
true.
all out in the systems of
See, like, I still have the same
I'll try
glasses.
this one. I'll try to make a fisher work.
How did you possibly do
Yeah,
that?
no,
I
for
don't
real.
know.
I still have
By
haircuts.
following incredibly clear instructions.
These are all like from Pinterest. But I like adding them to my bullet journal.
What is this?
Fish shop.
This is the one I gave to my sister, the painting that I was talking about.
Is this the fish shop?
That's awesome.
Is this the fish shop? Yes. Yeah. Do you sell car?
Work in progresses on it. Because it took like forever, right?
Yeah.
Car.
Is it acrylic?
Yeah, it's all acrylic.
No, car.
Give us that car.
Hi there. Do you guys sell car?
Like, I love the shading on the jacket.
Do you
I'm
sell
so
car?
happy that I like figured that out.
C-A-R-P. Car. Like, do you sell carp? C-A-R-P.
I haven't looked back this far in my Instagram.
Okay.
Because this is my Finsta too. There are like thousands of stuff on here.
Yeah.
Ah, how do you do that? Let's just go catch some. Let's try catch some. How do you usually
Yeah, they're actually all over there.
Oh,
Yeah, all of my photos.
move up the entire surface of the.
So then this was back when Instagram had its single image format.
right.
Yeah. This is my first fish. This was, was this fish to fry?
Is that blue fish on here?
Yeah, that might be fish to fry. The first fish. Back in high school. This is when I went to Mayday Parade. It was like, I went to Mayday Parade and then I went to prom, and honestly, Mayday Parade was a little bit better than prom.
Yeah. Prom is whatever.
Yeah. Right?
I'm glad I went, but it's not worth all the hype.
This is all the pictures of when we went to Japan.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. It was when I like first made the fastest I think.
Okay.
Bow fishes, shoot a fish, just shoot a fish.
That starts off.
Yeah.
Just a stabilizer. So this goes on the front of the bar.
Oh, cool.
We touch the reel of this.
And now I have tattoos, not like these.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't see that. I just.
Could never look at it the same anymore.
Sky view?
It's so true though. It could just fall from the sky
Yeah.
and kill you.
Wait, you lost your bloody rope though.
I like the glass floors always freak me out. Oh, this is the original picture.
Oh, nice. Yeah, like I'm afraid of like stationary. Like roller coasters and stuff is totally fine. Being on a mountain is totally fine. But if I'm on the edge of something and I look down, it's like, oh, I can't do
And now
Not
we
the
just have to
moon.
catch a car.
No, it's too much. It's too much.
So full.
I
Our
don't-
politicians have come up with wild strategies of
I can
removing
do
them, like
heights for the
infecting them with
most part. Like I
STDs
can
like
climb
herpes.
tall ladders, or like
As long as I don't look
Also
down.
micro
yeah, I'll be
a
fine.
golden
Yeah.
$1 million ticket to encourage fishermen to hunt them. So we went down to the beautiful
I definitely feel
local
like there's
creek
like a
with
too
another
high
mate
where
to
it gets
catch
like
some
too
carp.
high.
Oh
Right?
yeah, for sure, for sure.
This is where you find carp.
No, this looks like some fresh.
Maybe it'd be better if I did like rock climbing.
Oh, they've already got
but-
takeaway containers for us.
I came here with my brother like 2 months
I
ago.
feel like I'm the same.
Walking out here and then
With rock
there a too high for rock climbing for you?
Or if I'm not strapped in, yeah.
A lot of people go for
Like if I'm bouldering, there's definitely a too high.
And after searching the river for a while, we
But
started
also,
to get the hang
can
of
I even
striking
hold
the
myself
car.
up?
Yeah.
But a ridge along the top of it.
Yeah, I've mistaken a lot of sticks like that.
Yeah, July.
And as soon as one came in range, I took my first shot.
Below. Oh, that's so low.
Guess my reel's not very sure. And found out my reel didn't work too well.
Just there. They're a bit hard to see.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god, he's so big, he's right there.
Oh my god.
Yeah, because then I'll have a nice 2 weeks of break.
So, oh, yeah, so close. Look like you hit him in the tail.
Oh wait, did we even get to the part where he burnt on the house?
Pretty sure we did.
Did we miss it?
Pretty sure we did.
Visually?
I'm assuming the fire or the bathtub is
So
not
the
the
end of
safe place.
Liam and Dan. So go check out Liam's YouTube channel where he met.
We were at this
Oh.
Yeah, I like totally
Would you
like,
like to write
what
anything
did
down?
we
got
miss that?
distracted.
I like put that
Oh
in
yeah,
the
yeah, I was on my phone.
right here. Step ladder into the.
Ruins the shot.
No, it doesn't.
Also, who has a bathtub in their living room with their sink? All of this is wrong already.
Not everyone's a rich YouTuber. Some people have to live like this.
So inside the fridge, safe, and bath, I put some chickens, thermometer, and an oxygen reader. And the sensors aren't fireproof, but they don't need to be, because if they melt, we'll know it was hot. And here are my predictions. The fridge chicken is going to be completely gone, bath chicken is going to boil, and I reckon the chicken in the safe might survive, but will suffocate.
Smells good. Is it going all over your feet? Is it?
Is that enough?
Scissors, paper, rock. Scissors, paper, rock.
Julie.
Hey, Dilly, you got it. You got limited time.
Oh!
Whoa!
And I'm not sure why we had so much trouble lighting this cabin full of petrol, so I tried again with my favourite cocktail.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Wait. Holy.
And place your bets now on what's going to happen to me when I run into the cabin to get the intro shot of me running out. A, I get burnt. B, I find a penny. And C, I forgot that I shattered glass on the ground and cut over my foot.
What is going on? Should have put on the...
That's bad. That's really bad.
What?
You know what I completely forgot about?
What?
The fact that is filled with glass.
Oh!
Got a really big cut on glass.
Oh!
That's what he gets for running around
I know.
So after patching up my foot and putting on shoes, we refilled the cabin with petrol and tried again.
No, no. Is that meant to happen to me?
Yeah.
Step her out. I can do it.
He can't get him.
I got
And you don't need me to explain what just went wrong there, but I'm lucky, stupidly lucky.
I was like, yeah, he's probably gonna light it by hand. Oh yeah, that'll be too close for this.
You had a nose and the other body. Nice.
2000.
Holy dude, it's over 600 degrees in there. You can feel the heat from here.
Yeah, it's just hot.
What the?
Don't watch out for everything around here. I mean, we can. Like, yeah, I don't know what's gonna do anything. You pull the... Wait, grab that, whatever that is down there.
Careful, careful. Holy, I did not think it would be that hot.
Dude, this is not good. Should we just start spraying it?
Alright, cabin is going up quickly. It was already over 700 degrees Celsius. And it's so hot that we had absolutely no chance of putting this out, even if we wanted to. We couldn't get within 10 meters of it.
You're doing a good job.
And you know, previously, when I saw the houses of celebrities and influencers burn down, I didn't care. But knowing it could happen to me, and seeing how hard it was to control this small burn, has definitely encouraged me to get some firefighting equipment of my own.
Oh, here we go.
Which is really good that we picked a wet day with no wind, as the fire still seems contained. But if the wind picks up and these embers change direction, we could be in a lot of trouble. So the first thing
I
to
thought
go
it
is
was
to
gonna
look
be
which
all
knocks the
over
bath
LA.
tub through the
Like,
floor.
I'm so glad
And I
it's
sound like an idiot
mostly
saying this, but I
the
just
valley.
couldn't believe how hot the fire was. So I'm changing my prediction. No chicken is surviving this. So after we let it burn for an hour, which is a much shorter time than a real house will be on fire, we started putting it out. And it wasn't looking good for the bath chickens or the fridge chickens.
What is boiling in the left side? But you just get
Oil alive. Okay, well that's... I mean, I feel like we don't need to check on the chickens at this point. Like, there's a pretty certain thing here.
You know what? I'm feeling a little bit dumb for ever thinking that there might be something to this video at all.
Let me get the plate in there as well.
Yeah, because I still have to buy my tickets for my sister's wedding too. I like haven't gotten mine yet.
Oh, so
Like flight tickets and stuff.
Yeah,
But it's just-
technically I have the whole plan, and my mom
like
already
monster.
gave it to me.
Yeah.
She
Somehow
told
the
me that I
chickens
had to
tasted amazing,
get the
even
tickets.
with the aftertaste of burnt towel. But
I know
before
what
we
it
open up the
is,
fridge
but
and
I
the safe, we're
forgot.
going to wait till it cools down in the morning. The most impressive thing about this is not the fire, but the fact that the bathtub fell through the floor and still stayed upright.
How does a bathtub land exactly on its leg?
like Looney Tunes. And also, look, this is the fridge chicken.
Oh, you can see it.
Yeah, look how good that looks.
Wait, pick it up. Oh! Okay, so don't hide in the fridge.
Don't hide in the fridge.
Oh,
It actually looks almost a little bit good.
ooh, you don't know the combination to the safe.
What the nog? That was metal, wasn't it?
Yeah.
This looks delicious.
Where did the thermometer go?
You can't negotiate with a fire.
Can't argue.
You just have to get as far away from it as possible.
Wasn't good.
You know, if there is a bushfire, the only thing to do is get out of there, because that's the only way to actually stay safe. But definitely chuck some chickens in the bath, as you'll have the most delicious chicken dinner to come back to. Hey girl, I've had this Beyblade sitting in my garage for 2 years now, and I just can't bring myself to throw it away. Mostly because it doesn't fit in my bin, and I don't want the garbage man to judge me.
Nice.
So, my solution is to do the most amount of engineering I've ever done and get this thing spinning at almost the speed of sound. So fast that it blows itself apart and everything else around it. And that way, I don't have to throw it away. If you watched my 2 previous videos in this Beyblade series, you'll know that I hyped it up a lot, but it was actually pretty crap. It didn't go very fast, and I also made it too good. The Beyblade was very stable, so it didn't move around and destroy enough things. But it turns out there is a pretty easy fix to the stability. I just need to introduce some instability to the Beyblade's life with an opioid addiction, and by also cutting off its leg so it's flat, which makes it walk around more. Okay, now to make it spin faster. And last time I was using a chainsaw winch thing, which worked, but only got it up to like 360 RPM, and I want it to go a lot faster. Like fast enough that the UN is forced to get involved and put sanctions on my house.
I take the fact that he develops weapons of mass destruction very seriously. I remember the fact that he has invaded 2 countries before. I know for a fact that he poisoned his own people.
So how am I going to get it spinning that fast? Well, if we do some basic maths, This motor spins at 2000 RPM, and if we have a 2-to-1 pulley conversion on it, it will spin at 4000 RPM. So if the Beyblade is 92 centimeters wide, at 4000 RPM, the tips of the Beyblade will be traveling at around 700 kilometers per hour. And if we do some more maths, considering Princess Diana hit that bridge at 100 kilometers per hour, which made news all around the world, 700 kilometers per hour is enough to kill 7 princesses. So it should be pretty impressive at that speed. But before I make the news, I just need to figure out how to attach this motor to the Beyblade, but more importantly, how to get it off. And considering the best thing I could come up with before was a pair of vice grips that released the Beyblade with a piece of string, I'm going to get someone else to help.
Go in.
My mate, who has a channel called Not an Engineer, but despite the name, is a much better engineer than me. And he also knows how to draw parts on the computer, much better than I do. And he drew up this cool sketch for us to follow. Now, the first thing we decided to do was take apart the Beyblade. And when I was making this, I definitely compensated for my lack of mechanical skills by using a whole bottle of glue on this thread, and it's now impossible to take apart. So we decided to deal with it later, and instead started boring down this pipe, which will hold the bearings and shaft that spins the Beyblade. And by we, I mean my mate. But at first he had to fix my lathe.
Really?
Yeah, the new one.
I didn't realize they were all late March. Or late May. I thought they were.
So that explains what was making funny noise. Alright.
They're coming out this
And you know what else needs fixing? Your browser. Which is why you need to start using Opera GX, the sponsor of today's video. Thanks to Opera GX for sponsoring this video. Opera GX is a superior browser compared to others, as it doesn't use all your computer's resources for no reason.
That's probably the last show I
allowing you
was
to choose
obsessed
how much computer power Opera GX takes up. So you can have a bunch of tabs open and not have to close them while playing games or doing other things. Look, here's me using Chrome with horrible performance, and now with Opera GX. And look at those beautiful low numbers. Also, default browsers are just so boring, and Opera GX offers you a lot of really useful mods. My favorite is this one, as it's me, a slightly worse looking version of me, in my garage with my best creations. And you also get to hear me asking how you are every time you open a new tab. How you going? Yeah, I'm pretty good. You can also get ones that change your typing to farting. There are so many mods in the GX store that change everything from your background music to keyboard sounds. And changing over to Opera GX is so easy, as it's equipped with an import tool that allows you to quickly import all your settings from your previous browser. All you do is go to Browser Settings, Synchronization, Import Bookmarks, and Import, and you're good to go. My favorite thing about Opera GX is the GX Corner, which keeps you up to date with what games are coming out soon. It also tells you what games are on sale and where. It does daily news and more. Wow, Taylor Swift went on a date with an NFL player. And also, if you download Opera GX for free using the link in my description, you will get my personal GX mod. So go download Opera GX today and upgrade your browser. And while he was doing that, I did the more complicated parts that require expertise, like tapping these holes and hitting the Beyblade with a hammer. Okay, I managed to get the Beyblade apart with minimal effort, and my mate had finished boring the bearing holes so that the bearings fit neatly inside. And there is nothing more satisfying than watching a bearing fit perfectly into a hole. And I'm not even saying this in a sexual way. It's just a great feeling, absolutely beautiful. Because if it's slightly wrong, the bearing won't move at all. But when it's right, it slides perfectly in. And then before you know it, you and your mate are making love. Okay, then my mate started turning down the shaft that was going to go inside the bearings, while I made the piece that's going to grip and release the Beyblade. And to do that, I'm going to use these little ball bearings, which I stole from your washing machine while you were sleeping. So you should probably get that looked at. And the bearings go inside this piece and will grab the top of the Beyblade in the same way as a collet chuck on a mill. And if you don't know how a collet chuck works, neither do I. So you're asking the wrong guy. Next, I drilled 4 holes which are big enough to fit the balls all the way in, but not let them out on the inside of the pipe. Except for this hole, which I made too big. then welded it onto the piece with the boards.
Can't see what I'm doing. And I
Usually
just
3 is like, this is a good movie. I'd watch it
Which is
again.
me
Or,
done.
you know,
And the
4
same
is
time
usually
it took
like
me
I'd
to
recommend
make
it to
this.
people.
My mate had finished the entire
Or like I
spin
really
shaft,
liked it.
which I then welded onto a bracket. And then we put it all together. And it spins slowly,
It's
but
a
what we
3.5
really
or
want is,
a
does
4,
it spin fast enough to cause grievous bodily harm?
And it's like, all my friends were already gonna see it. So it's not like I can like tell my friends about it, right? Everyone already knows.
Yeah. It was a 4. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
But then I also
And
have
that was
like
the
a
maximum
list.
speed, which seemed fast.
So I
You
started
can't
making
really
lists.
tell without the Beyblade on the bottom, which is what we're
No,
going
it's
to do. So
you
next
can
I
do
welded
well.
up a
So
frame for the motor and
you can make
arm
lists
that hold
of.
the Beyblade.
I make
And
lists
this
for
is all
recommendations.
guesswork here, which is why
So,
I
like,
decided to
you need
weld it
some
all permanently in place before checking if the motor
movies for
even
that.
fits onto the frame,
You need some
which
spooks.
luckily it does, and the spinner
Have
as
movies
well.
for that.
Okay, so then
Do
we
you need some
finished off the
romance?
Beyblade by
Have some
drilling a
movies for
hole
that.
in the center so a bolt threads inside.
Do you need some
And then
tears?
tested if the
Do you
Beyblade
have movies
fits,
for that? Need some fights?
which it does.
Need some art? But this is my
like a
watch
wall
list, so you can like note movies
And we couldn't
to watch.
resist spinning it up in my garage.
And then I have a huge watch list. Yeah.
It's already what we was quiet for.
Is that? That's not the shop.
No. You got it on.
Do you want to go a bit faster? Yeah. You can go.
I wanna watch this movie.
I'll go a little bit.
It's called Deep Dark.
Yeah.
It's a guy who wants to commit suicide, but he finds a talking hole in his wall.
And that was only 5%
That's
of
a
its
movie.
maximum speed, but was already terrifying enough to kick in my fight or flight response and make me use my mate as a human shield. So I can't imagine what I'm going to do to the people around me when the Beyblade is going at full speed. Okay,
And you
last
can
thing
see
we have
what
to
your
do is
friends
make
have
something
watched
that is
and
going to
stuff.
hit this
Or
pin
you
off
could
the
follow,
top
like,
to release the
directors and
internal
things.
pipe, which means
See
those
what they
little
are
balls
watching and
inside
recommend.
will be able to slip out of the way, releasing the Beyblade. And I was all for just poking it using a big stick,
here.
but my mate suggested we use the
You can
VFD,
have your
which we are
favorite
using to
movies.
control the speed of the motor, as it has some
Or, like,
inbuilt
you could
switches
see
that trigger when the motor
the movies
reaches a
I've liked.
certain speed, which we can plug this
movies
solenoid
I've
into.
liked that I've
So
seen.
I just welded the solenoid to some metal, and then we made the world's
Are you gonna see it
first
yet?
hexagonal
It's on
spring.
Amazon.
I've never seen an hexagonal.
It's very nostalgic because it was filmed where I
And put
grew
it
up.
on the frame.
Oh.
And now the solenoid should pop out,
This is
hitting the
gonna be
release
funny,
pin
guys.
and knocking it off.
I believe you now that it happened on camera.
Which it does, but we don't know if the release pin will actually stay on while the motor is spinning at high speed. So we gave it a test behind my not-so-blast-proof blast shield.
You're gonna fly, you're gonna fly.
Back in April.
And that is everything working. So I just sprayed it and put on some safety
Same at
tape
you.
to remind us not to go near it while it's spinning.
April.
And now I just need to find a place to spin this guy up. And last time I did it in the abandoned drug house down the road, and that is still an option. as
Seems
I
like a
live
long
close
time
to
ago
another
now.
abandoned
I know,
house,
right?
But that's also next to a preschool. And this guy is going to be spinning a lot faster, and I don't really think I can rely on walls to stop it. Which is why I asked for your guys' help. And lucky for me, Hamilton must have a death wish, as he hit
I'm
me
so
up
glad
and
I got
agreed
jury
to
duty
let me do
during
the
this job.
Beyblade
That
on
was
his
like the best
property.
thing
So we put
ever.
everything in the car, including 4 lady mannequins. And I didn't specifically ask for women, but it was the only thing they had left in the store, besides babies. Which I did buy as well, but for a different video.
Have you looked at your car when it's been girls before? Or?
Never.
No, this is incredible. It's making me nervous.
It is also concerning it's only lady ones.
Yeah, I got them second hand, and I was like, it's all I had, and I realized afterwards, I'm like, this doesn't look that good, does it? And Hamilton's property is perfect. It has one big opening, which the main camera can view all the destruction through. It's got rafters for the Beyblade to hang from, and most importantly, a dead kangaroo. So first we hung up the Beyblade frame, which was a little wobbly.
We need a strip.
Yeah. For real.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh
the 4DX.
Too
And
much
then brought in
action.
mannequins. And I couldn't stop thinking about that Princess Diana joke I made earlier, so I
What
thought
other
it would be
movies have
appropriate
you
to
seen in
arrange a
4D?
little English tea party.
The only other
for
one
the
was
ladies.
Godzilla.
And then we put in the Beyblade.
What did they do for that one? Was it just rumbling when he was on the building?
Yeah,
And
the
because
scenes
we
where they were
thought
on the boat,
Beyblade
like
had a high chance
seats
of
were rocking.
shattering,
Yeah.
we decided to go full
The
speed
water
on the
spraying.
first go.
Lots of smoke.
Yeah, I wish there was more smoke.
Yeah, yeah.
I
they
saw
didn't use
that
a lot
in
of
the
smoke.
beginning and that got me really excited.
The smoke doesn't really get anywhere.
No?
Yeah. Like, I don't know. They don't leave it on long enough. Yeah, it's really only Bloodlines or Final Destination
And I'm not sure what Hamilton was expecting me to do on his property, but I'm sure he didn't imagine he would be cowering behind a single brick wall from a giant Beyblade spinning at almost the speed of sound.
These citrus songs. Nice. Yeah, when they were here, me and my friends held on
Alright,
to the
it
tickets
definitely worked
through
in
the
its
pandemic.
way, as one of the mannequins was in
You're
pieces
one of those
and
people?
its legs
I've
was
heard
out
all
the
those
window.
stories, yeah.
Well, my friend never
And there was also a good
saw
sized chunk
what-
missing
he's
out
one of
of
my
the
best
concrete.
friends. He
But
never saw
besides
them
that, a
in
lot
concert.
went wrong. Firstly,
And then
we
when they were
spun the
doing the
motor the
tour,
wrong way,
we
so the
bought
bolt
tickets.
on top of the
And then
Beyblade
obviously
undid
it was like the
itself, and the
pandemic.
Beyblade dropped
So we were
prematurely,
just like,
only
well,
getting
gotta
up to
hold
like
on to them.
10% of its maximum speed. And then also the
I held
frame
on
was
to a couple
vibrating
tickets
so
during the
much that the
pandemic. I had
solenoid
concerts
valve
I wanted to go
released
to, yeah.
before the maximum
That was so
speed,
sad that I
knocking
missed
the pins
out,
off.
right?
Totally.
So we put it all back together, and this time reversed the motor
We're
and
going
put
to
in a new
concerts
bolt
next week.
and tried
I
it
know.
out.
I'm excited for that one.
Me too. I've
So
been
it's all the way
listening.
in Venice, or is that?
Is it? Yeah, Venice.
Mhm.
I think it's south. We should plan. Alright, we got that.
I know we have a week. Do you want to drive or should I drive?
I can drive.
No?
Yeah,
Find
you
somewhere
could-
to park.
I think so. I'll look up the area.
Yeah.
Drink with you.
Yeah, I'll have a car soju.
Yeah.
And I like left it at your house.
Oh yeah.
It's in
And
your
that time
freezer.
it got a lot
It
faster,
doesn't
but
freeze,
the
does it?
solenoid
No.
valve
Yeah,
still
turn into
shook
like a
itself
popsicle
loose
all
and
over.
released the Beyblade at 50% of this maximum speed. Which was actually a good thing, as the Beyblade almost made it out the door, smashing the door frame and concrete on the edges.
Amici, it tried to get out the door.
Yeah, you were like.
So we thought we better be safe, and we put a single brick in the way, and did another test, this time with the aim of taking off the table's legs. And this time, I'm not going to play
I
any
have,
music
like,
or talk.
half
I'll just
of my
let you watch the
calendar
full
written
speed
down,
up of the
but not
Beyblade,
really.
because the noise that
I
it
can-
produces
I can
when it
sync
reaches
this up.
full speed
I
is
can fix this.
absolutely terrifying.
Oh, with your
I'll make
your
it right.
whiteboard.
Yeah.
Yeah, bring it over.
So one of them I don't have the equipment drop off.
Oh, you don't have that on there.
No.
And that was the level of destruction I was looking for. It shot shrapnel past the camera at a ridiculous speed. It almost started a fire. And even cut deeper gouges into the concrete.
Deep as well.
And this was the first one that actually got up to full speed. And the noise it was making was absolutely horrible. sounded like a helicopter that was getting closer and closer. And this is how the Viet Cong must have felt when Americans were flying over the jungles and dropping giant Beyblades from the sky. Also, that run reached full speed at 4,000 RPM, which means the tips of the Beyblade were traveling at 670 kilometers an hour. But I still want the Beyblade to disintegrate itself. So this time, we're going to try dropping it from the height straight onto the concrete
My other
floor.
jobs, we did get to see Final Destination.
Yes.
Yes.
We gotta do a Karate Kid marathon now?
I guess.
We were wondering what that noise
awesome.
was. The bolt which loosened itself from the Beyblade.
Pretty sure you don't have to watch
But it still
the
held
TV
on
series.
and it dropped.
Is this TV series?
Yeah, Cobra Kai.
Oh, yeah.
But,
The one that's trending right now.
yeah,
Because I couldn't really hear the Beyblade anymore, I decided
I don't know if you
to
do
go
or
and
not.
have a look.
I mean, you should. It's very good. I'm very biased, but it's very good.
And almost walked into the Beyblade still spinning on the ground at 400 kilometers an hour.
So now I hope this is
Now, even though that wasn't a successful drop, it was really cool looking back on the slow motion footage and seeing the solenoid valve work exactly as we intended, knocking off the pin and releasing the Beyblade while it was doing 4,000 RPM. Okay, we've got time for one more test, and we're going to try and cut this table in half.
This is gonna do it. I just want her to fall over. She's been here the whole time.
This noise never gets easy to listen to. Every part of your body wants to run away.
It's on the side.
the key, what everything means.
That was amazing. Even though it didn't blow up, we spun it fast and caused enough destruction to finally allow me to put this Beyblade to rest.
No, I don't want to do it anymore. I'm done. I hate that noise.
I also really want to thank my mate, not an engineer, for helping me out with this. And you should
It's
go
good
check
that
out and subscribe to
writing
his
things
YouTube
small
channel.
is my
And also
specialty.
Hamilton for letting me
Small
use
is
his
handwriting
property
career.
and his dog for doing more damage to my leg than the actual Beyblade.
It's impressive that it's very small, but very readable.
Thank you so much for watching. If you like
Or I
that,
just know what
please
you're
subscribe and watch some of my other videos.
It's because entertainment is such a fucking long word.
Now I've got some pretty dodgy stuff in my garage, but there's one tool I use that always scares me the most.
I've always wanted a garage full of tools.
This
Yeah.
can opener,
Me too,
or
actually.
more commonly known as mud crab.
My dad's
Now, I've
workshop
heard
is
some
really
wacky
Or we're not
stories
workshop,
about
but
their
like
strength.
just a garage.
Like this one
What does
fisherman
he
who
have?
told me that a mud crab
Everything.
cut off his whole body from his
Yeah.
finger.
Yeah.
So today, I'm going to put mud crabs to the ultimate strength test and see if they really
He
can cut
remodeled
off
the
the human
kitchen.
finger.
Not recently, but that was like the last big project he did. And he did a lot with it.
Okay, I want to test
But
out
his,
mud
the
crabs
thing that
from
he
three
mentions
ways.
the most
First,
is
I
like
want to
if
know
you're
how
getting
much a
water
mud
from
crab
the
can
fridge,
lift and modify one of those strength
the fridge
grippers all the
faucet
gym
thing,
boys use and
he'll be
compare them
like,
to a
you know
mud
that
crab's
water's
claw.
being filtered
Then I want
twice.
to make some replica
Wow.
fingers
Because I
made
put
out of
2
ballistic
filters in
gel
the
with
wall.
bones inside and put them in the claws
Yep.
to see what happens.
I know
And then,
that.
if it doesn't look that bad,
I
I'll
was
stick
there.
my own finger inside. Or if it does look bad, I'll stick my mate's finger inside.
And then now he's remodeling.
So I'm
your
going to
bathroom.
start with making the delicious gelatin fingers. And to do that, I'm going to use this stuff called alginate to take a mold. And you might have seen or had this stuff used on you before when you go to the dentist and they take a mold of your finger. And that's what I'm going to do. So I precisely measured the powder and then mixed it with water until it changed colour and poured it in a little cup before sticking in my finger.
We got her BritBox, the British streaming channel, for her birthday one year, and she loves it.
Maybe she watches Tessa's too.
Maybe. She likes the mysteries.
Now, I'm not sure why that was such a stressful experience, but the set rate and amount of water I needed to put in changed every time I did it. But they seem to have worked, and all the molds are dry. So next, I took the wings off some chickens and then deboned them.
You buy boneless chicken. Could I have just bought chickenless bones?
And I think that chicken bones are pretty similar to the thickness of my finger bones, but then again, I've never pulled the meat off my bones, so I don't really know. Now, last time I made these fingers, I did an 8% gelatin to water mixture, which didn't hold together too well. But this time, I'm going to follow a professional cookbook, which recommends that for a stronger flesh to do a 20% gelatin to water ratio, which should increase the bounciness and resilience of the gelatin, making it more similar to a human finger that has a chicken bone inside of it. It also recommends I shouldn't use horse gelatin, but instead use Mackenzie's gelatin, which is made, presumably, from Mackenzie. Okay, I started mixing it all, making sure to inhale as many gelatin spores as possible.
That's good stuff.
And this got real thick quick, and reminds me of the texture of cup. So once it was all mixed up, I poured it into the finger mold, and then poked in the chicken bones, and put it in the fridge for 8 hours to set. Which means I've got some time to kill. Speaking of which, I've also really been into a new mobile game, which is the sponsor of today's video, BlahSrah. It is an awesome next-gen fantasy RPG which has high-quality audio-visual effects. It's incredibly immersive. I would say it's the new pinnacle of quality in RPG games because besides high-quality visual and audios, BlahSrah also has top-tier motion and facial capture technologies that make your heroes incredibly vivid and lifelike. Also, in the mystical continent of Tia, you can immerse yourself in a magical world with over 100 unique heroes from 30 races and 8 factions. In Watcher of Realms, as a commander, you'll explore the legends and myths in the continent Tia. To save the chaotic land engulfed in madness, you need to collect more heroes and power them up. Then you can challenge the evil ancient gods with your heroes together. You can also enjoy user-friendly and deep strategic gameplay, fighting against daunting, menacing bosses on each level, and team up with guild partners to challenge the epic dragon and rush to the top of guild rankings. Watcher of Realms also has refreshing, diverse RPG elements that you just don't see in other games. You can obtain rare resources from challenging dungeon levels. As you conquer higher difficulty levels, you'll acquire XP potion, gears, artifacts, and legendary skill dust, which can enhance the power of your favorite heroes. As a new game, Watcher of Realms has hosted a grand competition event. In this event, you have the opportunity to join a team of your choice and help your team achieve victory. You can also win the awesome prizes like iPhones or an Xbox. The event link is in the description. Just click this link and join the competition. To download the game, use my download link in the description or scan the QR code on the screen to jump into the best mobile fantasy RPG. I will wait for you in the continent Tia. Okay, back to the mud crab fingering. And now I'm going to make the claw testing scales. And to do that, I just borrowed these grip strength scales from my mate that does roids. And to give you some reference on how strong the mud crabs are, and not because I want to show off at all, here's my hand strength. With my right, I pulled 89 kilos or 200 pounds for the Americans.
And then, like, 1
With
week
my
to,
left,
like, really,
I pulled
really
80
plan.
kilos or Wao Lao Lan Bao Shi Zhu Gong Jin for the Chinese, and 30 kilos with my cheeks. So, I really hope that the mud crabs are at least as strong as my cheeks. Okay, now to modify the scale. First, I just hit this metal bar with a hammer until it gave up and bent, then drilled holes in it and screwed it in, and that's done. And hopefully this gap is now small enough to fit inside the claws of the crab. And I'm very excited to get a digital number telling me how much claw force crabs actually have, as all the numbers on the internet seem way too high, with some scientists saying they have 700 pounds of crushing force. But that doesn't seem to make sense, considering how small their claws are. But then again, it might be true, as people have even done theses on this topic, filled with diagrams. And this guy even went as far as jacking off a crab to find out the answer. Okay, that seemed around 8 hours. So I took the molds out of my fridge, and also the fingers, and then cracked them open.
That is good, look at that.
look disgusting. Exactly the same as my real fingers. Now, I might look rushed during all of this, and that's because I am. And I'm unboxing stupid gelatin fingers at 2 a.m. at night when I have a flight the next morning at 5 a.m. to Queensland. And I'm going there to meet an Aussie legend and YouTuber named Willem Powerfish, who's going to hook me up with some big crabs. Because as far as I'm aware, there just aren't any muddies in Sydney besides Carl in my toolbox. Now, Willem is a strange bloke who does fishing pranks and causes trouble at the boat ramp, but his most infamous videos are probably where he walks around a construction site paying tradies to put mud crabs on their face. So he's the perfect man for this video, if I can get all my fingers through airport security, which I'm now realizing might be an issue. But after a nervous 30 minutes, I got through, and I really wish I got video footage of the confusion on the X-ray operator's face when he was trying to figure out what the 6-finger and vibrator-shaped objects were in my bag.
They stopped and they looked at it and they zoomed in, and then she looked at it and then she just licked her lips like she's like she's on chicken bones, and then she just continued straight through.
And I got through with almost all my fingers intact.
Losers will have to take a mystery drink, either salt water, vinegar, and I'm just keep pointing here because I feel like we're going to lose, but
So it was the closest bone I could find to the same thickness with a... What do you make this out of? Gelatin.
So if you need it,
you could eat that.
I'm a female diversity hire.
Right, now I thought Willem had had some mud crabs ready to go for us, but it's
Yeah,
not
it's a board game.
and luckily he knows a great secret
But I think he makes board
hidden away
games.
in the
I
mail.
like to watch something that
The
makes
only
board
problem
games.
was that he had to get across this old, falling apart bridge.
Nah, we're not going. We'll make it.
Oh, it's not that bad. I'm so good
Yeah, I
heights.
don't know.
It's not high, but I'm just a massive baby.
Right? I'm just gonna play along.
Oh yeah.
It'll be fun.
Just bring the vibes.
Yeah. I haven't hung out with James in a while. We
You're
went to
doing
go
well.
see. I met him at the.
Finally got this, and then
the film I
and
was
the rest of
working
the bridge
on, the
to
short
go.
film. And he
No,
was
the rest of
there.
the bridge
And
is
he was in the
easier.
area, so we go see movies sometimes.
Carry all this stuff in.
With his game, because he like lets me know when they're like.
I'm like, how are you gonna come back across with crabs?
That's
And
like
after
the
getting
film
rust
thing
cuts
to
on
do is
almost
let your
every
friends
one of
know
my
when you
toes,
can
we made it
work.
across to the other side, and then headed our separate ways into the mangroves until one of us found a crab.
So yeah, I think that was probably on YouTube. Seems like a YouTube thing.
Yeah, is there such a thing as quick mud? Can you die in this?
Which surprisingly only took a couple of minutes before Willem found our first one
The
hiding in a
year's
hole
like
under
already
this
so
pipe.
far through already. Isn't that wild?
Is it possible?
I hate it. It needs to like, stop. It needs to like calm down
No
a
wonder
little
there are all
bit.
these crabs here.
Forget the mud crab, become the mud crab.
Oh. Whoa. Oh, he's ready for you. He sees you.
Right, so we've definitely found a mud crab.
Look at his eyes.
Look at him.
Oh, he's not on little bubbles.
Oh, it's in front of my camera.
Oh.
He's trying to dig.
Is he trying to dig?
I think he's trying to get away, yeah.
Should I use the shovel or get
Nah,
my
you gotta use your hands, like maybe you blocking the view.
I am blocking. I'll come over where you are.
Here's your chance to escape, crab.
No,
While he's
figure
not
out
watching.
therapy.
He's actually trying right now, he's getting deeper. So
Oh, whoa, he's so deep.
come in from behind.
Wait, that's it. What the?
My friend's trying to move out of this place in Pasadena. I just renewed my rent here though. I like it.
I'm losing.
Oh, you just renewed?
Yeah. Or like I've been here for over a year now, and they're like raising my rent actually, so they sent me like a piece of milk.
Yeah.
But it's only like by like $50, so it's like not even that much.
Yeah.
Hell, he's massive.
Oh, his eyes through the ear. Not as pretty.
Big boy.
I don't know if it's the job of mine. This the May.
Big buck. You're shaking, you're right.
Perfectly fine. This is probably one of the scariest animals I've ever touched.
Yeah, they look scary as well, and I think just the pounds of pressure that these claws hold is just phenomenal, man. Like,
Well, if you look at that compared to the rest of its body, just look how much meat is in there.
yeah, That's the best bit.
So much muscle. Let's get out this. Not doing it anymore. I think there's pretty much enough for science, right?
Yeah, I think it's enough for science.
Yeah, like we could bag out if we wanted. Yeah. Oh, easy. Like I reckon there's easily another 800 just in here.
Oh, that's all of these air bubbles. There's actually a crab.
Gosh.
Yeah, that'll be enough.
KFC.
You don't want to be greedy though.
I worked
It's
at
like a day spa.
computer store as a
Little
computer
crabs.
science guy.
Oh.
That's
Yeah, because you're probably just taking their mother.
That's right. Get
I
on
did like a
that.
small internship with my
Can you
cousin's
even
company.
get up?
Yeah, put it down, I'll grab it.
Beautiful.
Cleaning up.
What did I do? I didn't have a job through college. I don't think so.
My college job.
Was that the school?
Yeah, the school job was barely a job.
Did you bring a tray of buns?
Yeah.
I didn't know.
I think I did anything.
They were just like, you just catch them in like the sand or something. I mean, mud crabs. That makes sense.
And after college it was Apple.
Wait, look at my legs.
And
This is way bigger than any mud crab.
I worked for my cousin's plant shop.
It was also surprisingly calm,
I worked for
considering
my
that a
friend's
random
YouTube
bloke
channel.
had his fingers on his arse cheeks. But maybe that's what mud crabs like. But it can
Warner
also
Brothers.
be the cold temperature, which is a bad thing, which means they might be really chilled out and not willing to squeeze
And
as
Warner
hard as
Brothers
they
again.
can. A mud crab
And
is
then
enough
this
for the
job.
test, but on the way back to our stuff, we
So,
stumbled
like
upon one
9
just sitting
And
underneath
then if you
his
count
log.
like conventions.
I reckon that's safe to say that's a mud crab.
Well,
There.
Yeah, that's a good collection.
Big.
Yeah.
He's big. That's it.
you got it?
Oh my god.
Oh!
Yeah.
Whoa! That is so big. Dude, he's holy sh-
Wow.
And lucky for us, the second mud crab we found was a little more angry.
I definitely did a little bit of photography job, but
That really sucks having a big shark.
So the first thing I wanted to test was their grip
The
strength,
heat rates.
and I'm hoping they get at least 50 kilos.
You reckon I'll fit in there?
Yes.
Okay, let's
So
just see
it's
it's
like most of
working.
them
We just
take
need
like
something
3
to tickle
months.
the hair.
Like the beginning of
So you
one month
run out of
and the
battery
end
on
of
this
the
one?
other.
No, okay.
Yeah.
But at least one full month.
At least it's like seasonal, right? So you can kind of.
He's grabbing.
Yeah, if I want to
He's
come
not
back,
biting.
I totally
Oh, it's going down.
Oh.
10 kilograms.
probably
Oh,
would.
15.
This
I
one was
feel
a
like
fun
crabs
one. I
have
liked
more
this
than
one.
15 kilos in them, so we tried the bigger guy.
Right?
Oh, he's got it.
On this one, yeah.
Whoa! 30 Ks, 30 kilograms. In like a second.
Yeah,
I
it's
just like
interesting.
that
When it hits 30,
Yeah.
it stops immediately.
Yeah, he
Wait,
just like
it's
slows
like-
down and.
And then it stops.
31 kilos or
better
70
in
pounds
February
is not
too.
bad,
Mm.
especially
Started a lot of
considering that
these
the crab
jobs in
only weighs
February.
1.5 kilos, so it's 20 times their body weight. That's the same as me squeezing 1,800 kilos or Yishin Bai Bai Gong Jing with just 2 fingers. And I did want to see a higher number, but maybe it's because the crabs could tell that they weren't grabbing onto an actual threat, so they didn't want to squeeze as hard as they could. So I decided to move on to the ballistic fingers to see what damage they would do. But first, had to get the crabs to let go of the scale.
Like literally, I'm pulling as hard as I can, and I cannot get that.
And you're
open.
very strong.
I'm a very strong man. Thank you. Oh, there we go. Something?
See
No.
opening?
No, that was my pliers. I mean,
He plies his break.
that was-
Well, you reckon he'll crack
So
this
you need to
bone?
like remake this.
Oh, yeah,
list,
he's-
like more
yeah.
efficient.
He's,
Oh, he's pissed off.
this one's.
Right, should I give him? Give him a finger?
My
You want
list
to get
of
him out to get a clearer
regulars.
shot?
Yeah.
Oh, it's fast.
Yeah, he's getting psycho.
I like to remember all
How
of
do you
them
even
and what
grab
they
him?
get. It's important. Right?
Oh,
So he's biting down.
he's biting down.
Going for
There's
it.
so many of them.
Oh wait, has he got all the? He's got.
No, he's touching. He's
And
got
sometimes
all
they
the way
don't
through.
come
trace.
every week.
Oh my
It's just
god.
some-
You never do the
Yeah.
finger.
That'll happen.
That will happen.
And the ballistic gel isn't holding up very well, and the crab managed to get through the flesh and down to the bone in a second. Then, just like a real finger, the flesh nicely degloved.
The balloon. I
Oh.
want to rewrite it. I
You
tore
got-
out
what
all
did
the
he- well,
papers
he degloved.
because I didn't
And
like
I reckon
the
his
way it
flesh
looked.
isn't accurate, as the crabs seem to slice
Oh, and then
through
I
it
just
with
think about
butter.
It would be a good narrative.
Oh, it's not what I have. No, it's so fair.
What's yours?
That doesn't make any sense.
But the bones are real at least, so we tried another one in the hope that we could get it to snap the bone.
There we go. Let go.
So he's trying to eat it.
Oh, he was.
It's folding.
So we go with this guy.
Expert.
Yeah.
People are always like, isn't it hard? And I'm like, not really.
I want to fit.
I don't think so.
Hey, he's playing dumb.
I just watched a couple
Jesus, man,
tutorials and I
this
did
one's
fine.
Another finger?
Oh, there we go.
Wait, tight.
Yeah,
He's
he's-
locked onto this. He's locked onto the
Oh, he's going for it on!
this. Going for the flies, man. I can't get the
Do
flies.
people say that to you about art a lot?
I mean, he completely ripped the...
All the time.
Yep. Oh! Oh! No, I heard the snap. I heard the snap.
Yeah, I heard that too.
That was loud. Oh!
Yeah.
Oh my god. What the... Well, get away from him. He's going to try to get your other finger.
And even though I do want this to be true, I don't think these bones are as strong as real finger bones. Also, most annoyingly, the crabs still seem to know that these aren't real fingers and don't seem to be clenching that hard. They are too focused on trying to nip us. So, after a group discussion, we decided that one of us had to put their finger in.
Just the palm, do here. That's where I'm going to go. I'm going to go across there.
How do you reckon we're going to let go? Just wait.
Oh, that's fine, open.
Now, I just had to pick which crab I'd like to get mutilated by.
He's got a nice claw there. I feel like... Just, I'm worried about the curve on that one. No, the thing is though, I don't know why I'm looking. There's no nice option.
Yeah, trying to find the best crab to buy.
Look, I've had many people attacked by these and watched a lot of people in a lot of pain. And I think your best option is just get in there and then get out. In and out. Shake his hand. Introduce yourself. And because if he likes you, he'll let go.
Do I just say, hello, my name is Al. That's it. Stand straight.
Yeah. And it doesn't matter what hand you shake with him. It doesn't matter. So
Well, the thing is, when I put my hand, this other claw's coming back around
yeah,
there.
because they usually, well, it's a custom for them as well. They
It's
like
like
double
two
handshakes.
hands, double handshakes. You know,
Yeah.
it makes sense.
So I'll hold him. You come in there, stick and shake his hand.
Straight there. I might hold this one so I can...
Oh, you want to do this one?
Yeah.
I was going to hold this one.
You gonna hold that one?
Yeah, I'll hold I'm telling you now, the smaller ones hurt more than the bigger figures. Yeah. Hi, I'm Alex. Nice to meet you.
You recording?
Hi, I'm Alex. Nice to meet you.
You got this.
Hi, I'm Alex. Hi, I'm Alex.
I am Alex.
Oh, you were so close.
You were there.
I saw it happening.
He's gonna...
Come on.
No, I saw Alex's face.
Come on.
And you fell down there.
Come on. You can do it.
Yeah, which part of his hand is he gonna do? The
He was
whole,
definitely
the whole
himself.
chunk?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, because you don't want to lose a finger. But he could like pierce through the palm.
Put it in. Put it in and close your eyes.
Why is he?
Like you have a pie's hand.
It's like a swordfish on his
Oh,
underwear.
I'll do what we can do.
I'll do it if you do it. If you do it, I'll do it.
Why is this so hard? Why the...
No,
I've done so much dumbness.
Well, there you go. This is nothing. Okay, you ready? Say the line and hold your hand there, because I'll put it straight on. Say the line. Get your hand out.
No, I tried for probably an hour to put my hand in the mud crab's claw, but I just couldn't do it.
If you put your cock in there... if you put your cock in there, I'll put my hand in there. I think that's it. If you do it, I'll do it.
Say the line and hold your hand there, because I'll put it straight on. Say the line. Get your hand out.
They're leaving us here in the mangroves if you don't do it.
You do it?
Gonna say the line.
Oh. Hi, Mr. Crab. I'm Alexa. It's nice to meet you.
Yeah. Let the crab more you move that one, the more this one. Alright, if I let go of this hand. Alright, so basically.
No, don't give me all. Okay, no, that's bad. He's pushing real hard
I'm
now.
not gonna give you this one. Let go.
You are.
I promise
Just take
you.
it off.
I promise
I'm holding
you.
it. I'm holding it. It's fine.
Okay, so what we want to do is. Can I actually. Hang on.
No, don't take it off. Don't take it off. No.
Should I get something in and stuff?
No, please.
Okay.
I've done it. You're the bias.
Okay, let's here's the players. You put this in there.
Getting worse and worse.
Just make sure you hold this guy.
No, it's good. He was releasing a little bit.
Yep.
It's good. I'm almost there. I have to go back across the bridge.
Put him down.
No.
No, that's how he'll
Okay.
release. But then the other hand might grab you.
Put him down.
Just
No,
watch
it so much harder.
No, let go.
No, I don't want that.
Yeah.
Try again.
Should we? Yeah, let's get that in there.
Oh, I love all the colors. Yeah. Oh, this was totally the move.
Oh. Oh.
I'm stuck with it.
4 minutes.
That's how many times they take it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I can kill the crab.
This is the worst.
Dude, his hand is like purple.
I tried cool as well.
I hate it.
Get him up! Oh, babe, dude. It didn't even break the skin. That's so good.
So there you go. It turns out mud crabs can't cut off your finger. And they probably have enough strength for it, but their claws are designed to pinch and grab, not cut.
I cannot believe after all that, you're more scared of the bridge.
Also, it turns out Alexa's pain wasn't necessary, as Willem already has a couple of videos doing exactly this. Like this one, where this tradie puts 2 mud crabs on a single finger and didn't get any real injuries. But that's not to say there can't be serious injuries, and Willem waited until after Alexa put the crab on his hand to tell me this, but it turns out some people that have been bit by mud crabs have lost limbs. And not from the force of the claws, but from infection. And I don't know why we didn't think of this, as obviously if you dig something out of this disgusting primordial soup and then let it stab through your skin, you're going to get all sorts of crazy bacteria into your body, like Vibrio vulnificus, which has caused many amputations and even killed people. But luckily Alexa doesn't know this, and I'm not going to tell him. I'll just make a video if he dies. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this, please check out some of my other videos.
So, you clicked on the video thinking, is this guy really gonna go to every Margaritaville in the country? Well, technically, that title is a lie. Because I'm going to every Margaritaville in the country and Canada! Margaritaville, a tropical beach-themed restaurant chain created by America's greatest singer-songwriter, James William Buffett, aka Jimmy Buffett. Now, if you don't know who Jimmy Buffett is, let me catch you up before we hit the road. Hi, I'm Jimmy. Jimmy Buffett is a multi-platinum artist who's been touring the world since the 1980s. But think of Jimmy less as a musician and more like royalty. Because this man has built an empire in the last few decades by not just writing tropical country-style songs, but by creating a world around his music. And no song has built that empire more than Margaritaville. Margaritaville is a simple tune created by Jimmy in the late 70s that then inspired the creation of his restaurant, Jimmy Buffett's Margaritaville. As the business started to thrive, they made Margaritaville shirts, shot glasses, keychains, and other merch until they expanded to Margaritaville hotels and resorts across the globe. But the restaurant that started it all is the official Jimmy Buffett's Margaritaville. There are 22 locations in the United States and Canada, with one in development in Boston, Massachusetts. And we will be hitting every single one. Last year, Ted Nivison and I went to every single rainforest cafe in the country. There were 18 total locations, and it took us 3 weeks to do it. The trip also nearly drove me insane. So you must be thinking, what kind of moron would go on such a pointless road trip, not enjoy it, and then decide just 1 year later to do another, even longer, pointless road trip? The night before we started our trip across the entire United States for 24 days, we decided to go to the first Margaritaville. Now, the closest one located to us is the one at City Walk at Universal Studios Hollywood. City Walk is just an outdoor mall in front of the theme park, but you might recognize it from Justin Bieber's famous music video, Baby. And I can't tell you what kind of honor it was to start this journey where Ludacris himself told us that when he was 13, he had his first love. As we headed toward the restaurant, I was getting increasingly nervous, because this trip is even longer. So I was about to find out what I was dedicating a 12th of my year to. After finally arriving, we were greeted almost immediately by the Margaritaville sign.
Yep.
I could not have guessed what was inside. Jimmy Buffett's likeness. Jimmy's music was playing on the speakers. There was Jimmy-themed food, Jimmy drinks. There was a giant Jimmy Buffett's margarita blender. There were even screens playing Jimmy video at the table. It began to dawn on me that this restaurant wasn't named after just one song, Margaritaville, that Jimmy Buffett made. This entire restaurant was a cult, dedicated to everything Jimmy Buffett. They even had my favorite Jimmy Buffett quote on the wall. Pour me something tall and strong. This door is to remain unlocked during business hours. As we were seated, we were given the absolute honor of sitting at the boat table. Now, the boat table was interesting because it's a table that looks like a boat. But finally, it was time for the moment of truth. The menu. I was about to find out what 22 meals of the next 24 days of my life would look like. And to my surprise, it actually wasn't that bad. On our last trip, I was shocked to find things like Mojo Bones, Boom Boom Sauce, Iggy's Piggy Sandwich, and more. But this menu looked pretty normal, other than the fact that the names of the items were themed to Jimmy Buffett songs that I didn't know. For my drink, I ordered the perfect margarita, and as somebody who loves margaritas, I feel like that name is a little too confident, and after tasting it, I was correct. Perfect margarita? Jimmy, I might want to call this the Just Okay Margarita. Now that's a Buffett burn. The group got some onion rings as an appetizer, and as we waited for our entrees, we were just having a good time. I did notice that there was a stage in this restaurant. It looks like it's fully prepared for live music, but it was completely empty for us, so I'm kind of wondering what that's all about. For my entree, I decided to start my Margaritaville marathon with a cheeseburger in paradise, which I believe is Jimmy's second biggest song. The burger was exactly what you'd expect out of a chain restaurant. I also need to stress that we are not being paid by Margaritaville on this trip, so as this journey progresses, I will be criticizing Margaritaville the whole way. But Jimmy, if you're watching this, I do take bribes. So our first dinner experience was exactly what you'd expect out of a chain restaurant. The food and drinks were just okay, but it was a dinner with a bunch of friends where we were just having drinks and hanging out, so I had a blast. But that fun was cut short, because it was time to say goodbye. Ted and I officially sealed our fate with a handshake, because tomorrow we begin one of the most pointless journeys of our entire lives. So I woke up this morning with a stomach ache. I think it was almost definitely the Margaritaville food, because I had nothing but a breakfast sandwich that morning, and then the cheeseburger in paradise and 2 perfect margaritas. Completing this Margaritaville trip will mean that I've done 2 tours, and I've already experienced my first casualty, my tummy. My tummy hurts. I have a tummy ache. I really hope my tummy doesn't hurt most days of the trip.
Get really shiny ones. I want to get a bunch of the shiny ones.
My tummy hurts. You guys don't know how hard it is
so
to be a YouTuber. So the plan for the first day was to drive from LA to Phoenix, because the next Margaritaville on our trip was the one in San Antonio, Texas. Now last year we took Ted's 2002 Toyota Tacoma across the country, and Ted is over there with the Tacoma as it gets loaded onto a tow truck. So this year, to avoid ruining Ted's car for good, we decided to rent a newer Tacoma. And I'll be honest, Ted was in denial quite a bit. It's not squeaking, it's fine.
I feel like I'm hearing a squeak right now. This is too clean.
The tires are fine.
I use like a dog, so maybe it might be dog whistle.
I think it might be tinnitus. So for the second and final time, we hit the road again. Over 9,000 miles, 22 restaurants, and 24 days on the road. 24 days of my life for Margaritaville. One thing Ted and I immediately realized while driving was that we did not get a truck cover for the rental. And you can't just have your stuff out in the open for rain or for somebody to steal. We decided to go with camo so people wouldn't see our valuables in the truck bed. They would assume there was just a nice little forest back there. Finally, it was time for bed. We had completed the first day of our new journey, but not before we experienced the smoothest and quietest elevator ride of my entire life. Day 2. The plan for the day is to drive from Phoenix to El Paso. I went for a quick run in the morning and then I hopped into my favorite elevator. Once again, we hit the open road, and I gotta say, as someone who's been pretty busy lately, it's been really nice to just drive and not think about it. Wait, what is that? What is the thing? Sorry. As I was saying, it's just good to get out there and hit the open road. Is that another the thing sign? Okay, there are a lot of the thing signs, and we need to stop for gas anyway, so I guess we'll pull off and see it. I would never be able to guess, though, what was in store for me behind those doors. In front of us was an entire museum dedicated to the what-if scenario of if aliens had come to Earth while dinosaurs were here. Now, I didn't know you could make an entire museum off of a hypothetical scenario, but apparently the aliens had come to teach the dinosaurs technology, and they were there to teach them technology until a war broke out between the aliens and the dinosaurs. The war got to a point where eventually the aliens had to click a big button and send a meteor hurtling towards Earth. And the exhibit didn't stop there. It told us about all the hypothetical secrets of our history. What if the aliens were a part of World War II? What if they drove around Winston Churchill in a car? And what if 9/11?
Are we implying what I think that we're implying here?
What if Ted did it? Finally, it was time for the main event. The thing. Ted and I inched toward it, terrified of what this secret would hold and what it would mean to our lives. And I was shocked to find that it was just some papier-mâché fake skeleton thing. And not only that, the guy who said he found the thing's name was Binkley. Number one rule in life, I'm not listening to anyone named Binkley. Day 3, and it is time for Margaritaville number 2. Ted and I spent most of our day crossing about halfway through Texas until we finally arrived at the San Antonio Riverwalk.
I thought it was
We
part of
actually
the
came
video.
here last year, and I just like the spot.